And we're back! Thank you.
All right. Hi, I'm Ryan Kathman. I'm the director of Fun Home the Musical. The graphic novel Fun Home really kind of disrupted what the literary world thought a good novel could be, and won a whole bunch of awards because of it. And the musical Fun Home, in a lot of ways, has disrupted what the theater world thinks a musical can be or should be.
Fun Home means identity, a great source of pride, and I try to bring this to almost every show that I do, but there's always this element of joy that we can't always have, but we always try to chase.
My kind of approach to characterization is a lot different than what some people do. They try and, go into the text, they try to, some work outside in, some work inside out. For me, normally I get an image in my head of exactly how it needs to look.
I hope the audience takes away basically whatever they can take away from the show. I think there's multiple viewpoints that you can look at the show, and you can see it multiple times and you notice something different each time. I know just observing my fellow castmates backstage and watching them try new and subtle things every night, there's something new that comes to me every night and in better understanding. I also think it's about self-discovery, really discovering who you are and not letting yourself have a label of anything.
My favorite part of the process, I think, has been working with this really cool addition we've added to this production, which is this dance ensemble that we're kind of using to tell the story physically, since we really can't with the singers, since they have to stay 6 feet apart due to COVID. And it's been really fun getting to work with them and come up with all kinds of really cool ways they can push the story forward through dance and movement. So that's been a really awesome thing we've done that's unique to this show that I've really loved working on with choreographer Bailey, who is amazing.
It's just one of those shows that you're like, I don't know if I'd like it, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, I get it now. My favorite part of the show is collaborating with everyone. It's really entertaining and fun to see when we all sync up somehow. And we do very similar things, even if we're maybe not working together immediately.
My favorite part of this show so far has definitely been the little family we've made as a cast and seeing it all come together. It's for such a long time we were in 2 separate spaces rehearsing, so now this week we're putting it all together, and it's so cool to see all the elements come into fruition and seeing the show go on, and it's really great to see the emotion actually coming out through the story and seeing that every time they perform it.
I'd say the hardest thing about playing a child is that I am older, so I have to kind of bring out my inner child from when I was younger, kind of bring back those memories and that physicality that I had. And it's honestly a lot of fun.
Watching the actors take the notes that are on the page and then really bring them to life. I think learning notes is one thing, but then when that memorization and sort of just nitpicky learning process is over, that's when the storytelling takes place. And so it's been just so cool and rewarding to watch them take what we have learned and really put soul and life into it.
What I'm excited about with this production are some of the innovations, some of the things that we've done, in part because of the conditions that we're under with the COVID-19, with the pandemic. It's been another case where necessity is the mother of invention.
There comes a point where you can't blame COVID for anything. You still have to go out and create art. You can't really use it as an excuse anymore because we as artists are incredibly adaptable.
I think I've really learned above everything else that conflict or struggle, I guess you could say, breeds innovation, because everything I've done over the pandemic in terms of theater has made me have to really rethink how to stage things and how to make things still super interesting to watch and super fun and unique while also not compromising the art and not making people in danger or anything like that. So I think it's just taught me how to think outside the box even more than I ever have before.
one of the reasons why we actually chose to do Fun Home in the first place in this department is just because of the lack of connection. And with COVID-19, we literally physically have a distance that we have to keep between each other, so that kind of reads through, and it's fun to play with in rehearsals and on stage too.
Art is about overcoming restriction and kind of putting a light on what problems are.